Hello guys, good evening. This is FTS once again. I am not a financial advisor, neither do I give financial advice. This video is for educational purpose only. And as we know, past profit do not guarantee future result. The forex market is volatile. As you take your trades, apply risk management. All right, today is 9th of November 2025. And for the new week, this is the activities for the week ahead, right? So it says the ongoing US government shutdown, right? So now the longest in history. So this US government shutdown is the longest in history. That's what I'm trying to say. It's likely to extend the halt in US economic data releases, right? It said this will leave the spotlight to private data featuring weekly ADP, employment figures, and NFIB Small Business Optimism Index. In Europe, data updates will be headlined by the GDP and labor market insights in the UK, right? Then, which will join the Eurozone in releasing industrial production. In Asia, investors will turn to China's data, done for industrial production. Retail sales, property prices, and credits aggregate. Also, Japan will post its first its fresh GDP estimate. Finally, a slow earning season we see results from Cisco, Disney, and Applied Materials in the US. While major report elsewhere include Tencent, Alibaba, SoftBank, Sony, Siemens, and Munich and Alliance, right? So this is just it. So the major takeaway from this is that the ongoing US government shutdown is the longest in history, and this has affected the major the economic data release, but they rely on some private data releases, right? That will be used, right? Just a minute. Okay, so I was trying to see if it will come right. So this is the economic calendar for the week. So Mondays, there is nothing much. On Tuesdays, we only have our back calendars, holidays. Then on Wednesdays, 10 years auction. Then on Thursdays, GDP for uh pound sterling, right? Yeah, GDP year on year. That's a Wednesday. We have core CPI and then chargeable claims, the 30 years bond auction, right? So there's nothing much this week, right? Because of the US government lockdown, right? So it has turned the market to, it has somehow affected the stock market and all of that, right? So let's head over to fundamental analysis, right? From what we think how the market likely move, right? So last week we were bullish on, last week and over week we were bullish on the dollar, right? But this week I think we are going bearish, right? Yeah, and these are the reasons why we are going bearish on dollar, right? So first of all, it says the dollar lost momentum after ADP data disappointed, showing job growth is what soft, right? So one of the things that drives the economic the data of the United States, right, is job data, right? So we saw that based on the ADP data, right? So the job data was disappointing since because of the government shutdown, though primary data, there's no dependent on primary data from Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? So they are depending on some private data from sources, right? And because of the ADP data, right, we saw that the job data has slowed, so which has resulted to, would likely make the dollar to be bearish in the short term, right? So number two, Fed officials sound cautious, right? But market are still pricing 70% chances of December rate cut, right? Which likely get to tilt on Dovies, right? Now, if you look at the Fed rate was two, we're seeing here 66.7%, right? Yeah. And probability of no change is 33%. So if you look at it, you see 66.9%, right? Then they will likely cut rate. The last time Paul said it's going to be like is that they will likely cut rate, but there are chances that they might likely cut rate, so which might likely turn to make dollar to be devalued more, right? Yeah, so that's what it is. Then the US government showed an adds or certainty weighing slight on growth sentiment. So there's no more economic growth because of the US government shutdown. So treasury yields are steady but stretched, right? Technical indicators show that the dollar rally had may have peaked. I mean, dollar rally has got to its peak, right? Yeah, so that is what it's trying to tell us. So if you look at the daily time frame, you see that the dollar rally has really got to a particular level where we might even yeah, it might go to a level where it might start go coming. That's what we're trying to say here, right? That the dollar rally has peaked. That means it has gone to where it will start falling down. That is what it is, right? Yeah, and if you look at the daily time frame from here, you see that this is technically we're having a morning we're having an evening star here, right? Yeah, we're having evening star at this point, right? So I think technically, I can agree with this that yeah, the dollar rally has already peaked already, so we might likely get price moving all the way to the downside. That's what it is, right? Yeah, that is what the fundamentals are saying, right? Yeah, that we might likely have a dollar that the rally of the of the dollar may have peaked. That means it has gone to its peak high, right? It has attained a peak condition high, so the dollar must start coming down again, right? Yeah, and although, like I said, though in all of the economies, right? Yeah, we talk about Euro, we talk about UK, talk about Aussie, talk about Kiwi, talk about Japan and all of that, right? Yeah, though the dollar still have the upper hand in terms of interest rate differentials, right? Yeah, but because of this, right, the low momentum from the ADP disappointing data, it shows that the job growth has softened, right? So 70% of chances that really cut rate, yeah, right, and I showed us from like 66%, not 70, right? So and the government showed that added uncertainty, making which will likely weigh in on the growth sentiment, right? So an treasury yield is showing that treasury yield are steady but stretched. Technical indicator shows that yeah, dollar might have peaked, right? So if you look at the treasury yield already, you see that the yield are somehow affected to an extent. So the yield are somehow affected, right? Yeah, look at the treasury yield. This is 2 years, this is 10 years bond, right? Yeah, and if you look at the bond price, right? If you see the bond price has really gone down, right? That means cash is not flowing into the bond market that much, right? Yeah, cash has not really flowed in. That's why you see that the probability of the dollar of falling is on the high side, right? So for me, I'll be bearish on the dollar this week. That is what it is, right? So we're looking at the bearish dollar this week, right? Yeah, we're looking at bearish short term, bearish on bearish to neutral. So the dollar is bearish this week, right? Yeah, so that is what it is, right? Yeah, then let's look at the JPY, right? Let's look at the JPY. Then for the JPY, I think I'll be bullish because of safe haven and all of that, right? So although not safer per se, but let's see how it is, right? Yeah, it says verbal intervention. Now within the week, right, the Ministry of Finance of Japan, right? Yeah, they announced a verbal intervention. Now, intervention is a situation where the particular currency has really lost its value in the market, right? Then the Ministry of Finance or the central bank will buy back the currency with dollar, right, to boost it. And when you do that, right, it always push the price all the way to the upside, right? Yeah, that's what we had. That's what we had this period we had the JPY rallied from here, right? Yeah, so you can see that there was a verbal intervention. Is not, intervention are most of the time they're not something they plan for, right? The Ministry of Finance or the central bank will just announce that there's going to be intervention, right? And before you see, the currency is back to its feet again, right? When they notice that the currency has lost value, it has crashed a lot to the downside, and if they allow it to fall like that, it will definitely affect the strength of that currency. So they intervene, right? Yeah. So and number two is that Japan's inflation um you know uh rallied, right? Yeah, it's rising. It rose by 2.8%, right? Supporting the case of Bank of Japan policy normalization in December with 50% all of rate hike. So the rate probability that they might likely hike rate because inflation is going on. And as you all know, CPI is used to, inflation is used to control CPI. If the inflation is going on, that means that every time they say that they should be considering hiking rate, right? Yeah, so that is it. The technical moment to suggest that the US JPY rally is losing steam. Yes. So if you look at the USJPY, it actually loses, it started losing its steam already, right? So if you can see, we have share of character. So we're looking at price coming all the way to the downside because if price would to have broken this level, price would have done that, but price is not making any move above that level. So we're looking at price coming on the way to the downside, right? Yeah, so we're seeing price coming on the way to the downside. That is what uh is trying to say, right? Yeah, so we're seeing that the Japanese yen would likely gain strength, right? Yeah, JPY likely gain strength. Why the JPY should come down? Then for GBP, right? GBP might be neutral, the only thing that make it positive is going to be the is a inversely correlation with the dollar. Sorry. That's the only reason why the GBP would likely come, the GBP will bullish. Nevertheless, GBP is a neutral, slightly bullish, right? So the Bank of England hedge rate, but market price 70% chances of December rate cut, right? So yeah, and you can see that the pricing for December rate cut, before now, the Euro area and the UK, they are they, they have not shift ground for the past I think three meetings, yeah, three interest rate meetings, right? Yeah, and they plan on doing that in the last quarter of the year, right? Yeah, you can see that. So the pricing that the price 70% of likely call trade. So before then, let's see how it goes, right? So steadily rebounded from the $1 30 cent levels and may see further upside if GDP data comes out firmer. So I think this week we have GDP report on Thursday, right? Yeah, I'll have the GDP report. So if it's higher than market expectation, then that would actually boost the sterling, right? Yeah. So, and apart from that, if it's not above that, then we should be thinking of, we should be looking at how the GDP would likely go down more, right? Yeah. So for me, I'm going to be slightly bullish on GDP because of the inverse correlation with the dollar. You can see this is also slight bullish as well, right? As the dollar is going down, you know, the major pair that are being paired to the dollar will be affected, right? So euro weakens, euro weakness showed after forming a base near $1 14 cent, right? So we saw that it says some rebound in euro in industrial production, right? Shows what? Stabilization. Nevertheless, ECB remains cautious but not planning to cut rates soon, right? So they might likely start to plan to cut rates, I think, from next year. So this last quarter, they're not thinking about this at all, right? Or like the Fed that may ease again, narrowly the points of gap slightly. So correlation shows euro still inversely correlated with the dollar, right? Just like what I said before about the GBP, right? So because of inverse correlation, euro might likely go bullish, right? As the dollar is crashing down, euro might likely pick up again. Then all card. For me, I don't know. I'm not interested in this card because that currency is not stable per se, right? Card is not stable. I've not loved card for some time because yeah. For now, as a commodity currency, card is not really that showing more strength this period, right? Yeah, I think the Bank of Canada caught trades recently, and signal is done cutting for now. But with domestic data, right, limit cash strength, right? So oil pricing has softened, moving a key tailwind, right? Yeah, so this is what I was trying to say, that because of the oil prices of oil are soft, it is the period of uncertainty in period of the political crisis, especially in war, right? Yeah, between two countries. That is where the price of oil for jet engines and all of that would at least skyrocket. That's where a car normally gains strength, right? So, but since we don't have such for now, the price of oil is not really that great, right? So for me, CAD is not a currency one should really focus on the buy. But because of the dollar weakness, USD CAD per se can really be affected, can really be bullish, but fundamentally it's bearish, right? Yeah, so if fundamentally is bearish, let me say like AED card should be bullish. AED card should AED no, sorry, not AED card. Card JPY should be bearish because JPY is likely going to be bearish because of the Verbal intervention, right? Yeah, and yeah, some other stuff. But for cards, I don't normally trade card, and I'm not bullish on card, right? So there's time when I will bullish on card, but not at this time. Then for Aussie will likely be bearish, right? Yeah. So for me, I'm just right now, anything that is you know, anything that is contrary to the dollar, that is what I like to trade, right? Yeah, you can see that fundamentally Aussie is bearish, right? Yeah, Reserve Bank of Australia head rate, but market expects cut by mid 2026. So a dovish stance, right? Overall, so I've seen that the monthly cut rate to start cutting rate in 2026, right? Employment growth is slowing. Part, participation falling slightly. So employment growth is slowing while unemployment rate is gradually increasing. So this is why Aussie is no, it's going to be bearish, right? So Aussie correlation with gold and lead has also weakened, meaning less upside for commodity what strength, right? Yeah, that is why Aussie is likely going to be bearish, right? Though I'm not going to, I'm going to focus more on the dollar pairs, right? Yeah, especially the major pair. But Aussie per se, with this, I'm not going for this because I'm saying dollar is going bearish and Aussie is bearish. So why should I focus on two bearish currencies at the same time, right? Yeah, so I should do that. I'm going to focus on euro dollar, pound dollar, euro dollar yen, right? Yeah, and let me say gold per se, right? Yeah, so let's go to gold. Gold will be bullish and neutral to bullish. So dollar correlation for potential December Fed cuts supports gold. Yeah. However, yield remains relatively high, which cap upside for short term, right? So if volatility index rises due to shutdown, right? Trade uncertainty, gold could regain safe haven bid. Yes. So looking at volatility index, right? So if you look at volatility index, is still on 20 on the benchmark, which is what 20. So if it rises above that, then we should start looking at rally for the gold, right? Yeah, we start looking for rally for the gold. But since it's not above 20, sorry, since it's not above 20, I don't think the dollar will likely rally, right? Sorry, gold will likely rally. So gold is still ranging. Gold has been on the range since let me go to 4 hours time frame. You see. Let me take this out. Done. Yeah. So you can see God has been on the range since I think that's 25th of last month, right? Yeah, God has been be on the range, right? So you can see from here that God has been ranging seriously, right? Yeah. So it has not broken this range, and yeah. So technically, some persons might likely focus on the breakout, right? Then they will likely buy gold, right? Yeah. So basically, we like to likely wait on break and retest, then buy on gold, right? So let's wait until volatility comes into the market again for gold, then we can likely buy gold. So gold is bullish, dollar is bearish, GBP is slightly bullish, euro is slightly bullish, card is bearish, Aussie is bearish. So Kiwi is also bearish, right? Yeah, so that's it about the market. Now looking at the stock market, you can see that the stock market is still falling unless the stock market start to pick from here, then then we can be then our dollar going down is I think it's gonna make sense the more, right? Yeah, so for me, the dollar, I'm bearish on the dollar, right? So I'll likely look for setups that will, so I think if the dollar is set to move all the way to this high, then I think we can easily take it down. That means if we are selling dollar quote pairs, that means we are bearish on USJPY, we are bullish on GPUSD, Euro dollar, uh, USD catch will bet it will cancel themselves. So this might get my range, but it's my range, yeah. Let's see how it goes. But bullish on Euro dollar, pound dollar, bearish on USJPY, right? Yeah, and bullish on gold. So for me, I'm going to focus on that, right? I'm going to focus on this page, right? So for me, I'm going to focus. So when I get a clear cut level to sell gold, to sell the dollar from here, right? Then I'll likely buy, I'll look forward to buy gold, right? Because I'm bullish on gold, right? So I'm looking forward to buy gold, right? So for me, I'm still going to wait for price to get here, sell the dollar, right? Yeah. So that's that. Then for gold, like I said, we'll likely wait for a breakout and retest, then we can buy the USJPY. Like I said, we are bearish. So if price, so for me, I would likely wait for price to take out this low, right? Yeah, I'm letting go to wait for price to take out this low, right? Break and retest it. Then we can, be bearish on the dollar once more, right? Yeah, but I'm bearish on the dollar. Then for GPUSD, I'm still looking at the bullish move. So yeah, this will do, right? Yeah, this will do. Yeah, that's going to do that for euro dollar. If there is any level of such again, I think for me, um, I will looking at price hitting this level, then we'll push it all the way to the upside, right? Yeah, push it all the way to the upside. This 2 hours time frame, take note. So I was waiting for price to hit here, but price didn't do that. So let's see how price will likely react at this point. Okay. USD card, I think I'm not interested in this pair. Like I said, Aussie, uh, for Aussie, because of the dollar weakness, I think Aussie will might likely bullish on Aussie for me. So that's going to be it, right? Yeah. So in case you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, like, and comment, right? Yeah. If you have any question on fundamental analysis, you chat me up, then ask your questions. I'll gladly answer you, right? Yeah. So my fundamental classes are on. If you're interested, you can contact me through WhatsApp, through Telegram, and you can indicate your interest on the comment section on YouTube, right? Yeah, so that's it for me this week, right? So let me do a recap again. I'm bearish on the dollar, right? Yeah, I'm bullish on gold, bearish on the dollar yen, bullish on pound dollar, bullish on euro yen. I'm not interested in this. Then this one, Aussie dollar. mm, let's be bullish on that, right? Yeah, so that's it for me this week. Have a lovely week ahead. I remain FTS. Thank you and have a lovely week. Yeah.